Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Defy the System. I got a Harmony 1 update for you. We've been tracking Harmony 1, and if you've been part of this channel, you have been one step ahead of everyone so far. We successfully called this breakout, which was almost a 15% move, I think. We successfully called the area that was going to turn into resistance. And then when we were right here, my last video, we made the call that we were going to see some downside. And right on cue, we saw about a 12% drop. And I got some hate from that video. If you guys are just looking for Moonboy hype, this is not going to be the channel for you guys. I am always going to be honest with you and tell you what I see. And we were seeing weakness in the charts, and we were 100% right. And the beautiful thing is also, it came down and perfectly hit two of my recommended limit order areas from my video titled "One Continues Push Toward All-Time High." Right here, you can see we came down. So we came down, got a nice little double bottom bounce for like let's see how much this gain was. For like a nice 6% gain. And then we made another leg down exactly to the other recommended limit order I had. Actually, the limit order I said in my video, I think, was 0.14074. So, I mean, look how tight that is. Like, we just barely caught that limit order. And then for another nice bounce. So, with my channel, I'm not here to tell you guys when to sell, when to buy. I want you guys to figure out your own plans, your own investing strategies. I personally prefer a long-term holding and accumulation strategy. I used to trade for years until I realized I'm taking a massive risk trading it when I believe it has such a bright future and potential long-term. I just made the calculation that I'm taking on more risk trading it than holding it. And that's just me personally. I don't want you guys to do what I do, copy what I do. Do your own research, figure out your own plans. But my goal with this channel is to give you guys honest and accurate information. My goal is to give you guys insights that will help keep you guys one step ahead of everyone else, as well as keep you level-headed, because I think it's the opposite. I don't think I'm spreading fear, doubt, and uncertainty. I think it actually makes things a little less fearful, a little less scary, a little less uncertain, and gives you guys less doubt if you guys know to expect stuff like this, because this might have been a little scary if you were expecting a giant move upward and then it's like, oh, what's happening? So I think I'm doing the opposite. I'm not spreading fear, uncertainty, or doubt. I'm on your side, guys. So just remember that. I hope this move helped you. Like I said, I'm not here to tell you when to sell, when to buy. I'm just here to try to give you more, share my insight, and hopefully add value to your investing and experience and trading experience as you get more insight into your own analysis. Okay, so we got these perfect bounces off of these two limit order areas, and right now it looks like our volume bottomed out. We fell as low as about 93 million for our 24-hour volume, and we're back to, I believe, 105 million right now. So this is looking, kind of good right now. We're showing some signs of strength and recovery. But what I talked about did pretty much play out in a different way, though. So we did get what I was concerned about happening, which was a lower high on the RSI, except instead of being right here, it was all the way down here. So right now we're in this resistance zone. We're battling through it, and we're putting in a nice breakout pattern right now. So we're showing signs of recovery. So we had kind of like a double bottom pattern, and the second this low right here is higher than this low. So even though it looks a little intimidating because we came all the way down here and we set a lower low, is actually not as big and bad and scary as it seems when we look and actually see that we're gaining upward momentum right here. So what we're looking for right now is to break through this resistance zone that we've been fighting right here. So you can see the red, this level between the 618 and 786 is going to be pretty tough resistance. So we're going to want to see our volume continue to increase, and ideally we can maintain this pattern, keep putting in higher lows, and see a nice breakout and a flip into support. And with Bitcoin's recovery, it's looking like it might just in fact play out that way. But we can't get too bullish because we still have the scenario that we have to worry about where, let's say we do get what we want and we break through that resistance zone. It's more likely than not, a higher probability than not, that whatever high we set is still a lower high than this peak right here. Okay, so we're not like ultra bullish yet. Things are looking better though, but we're not ultra bullish right now. However, on the flip side, we do have some reason to feel optimistic when we look at Bitcoin, because this pattern that we're seeing right here is looking pretty bullish actually. So the more and more we continue to put in this type of pattern, the higher the probability of, a breakout to at least attempt, these resistance zones we've been talking about. It's looking at least more and more probable that we'll at least take a crack at it. So yeah, looking pretty bullish. Not to mention this pattern is a pattern we've seen before, right before a reversal and breakout. So we have a dump, a heavy dump, and then look, the next one is not as extreme, and then the subsequent ones are also, we're losing selling momentum. So we had tons of selling pressure and momentum, retrace, even more selling pressure and downward momentum, retrace, and then just some little baby selling pressure and downward momentum. And we can see it. Let's look at the RSI. So we see it's shaping up with the RSI too. On the 4 hour, this was the most extreme low. So low, lower low, higher low. This is that pattern I told you I like to look for a lot that is so common in reversals. The only problem is we don't know for sure that this is as low as we're going to see on the 4 hour. We could get another surprise like that, but even that is bullish because then we got the inverse head and shoulders. So all this means is if we do see this surprise bearish scenario, it would probably play out in the form of a surprise crash down to this zone and then a nice healthy bounce and recovery. So what we want to see on the daily time frame is that whatever low we set doesn't come down past that low, and that when we start to interact with this 50 level, we might have some trouble with the 50 level, but we want to ultimately get above it, and we want to see either an explosive move or a nice uptrend. It might be like a normal uptrend, or it might be an explosive move, kind of like this one. Only time will tell. But we, like I said on my channel, I'm not going to make predictions. I'm not here to make predictions. I'm not here to tell you when to sell, when to buy. I'm here to share my insights so you have a better idea of what's going to happen in the market. Hopefully a better idea than the next guy, and be one step ahead of other people in the market. So just like back here with this move, we could see that this was a peak, and then we started setting lower and lower highs. That was a huge warning sign, and that's why anyone who would have sold at the top of this peak, any of these peaks, would have been making a smart play, because they saw the bearish divergence. And so, you got to be objective, as objective as possible. When you see these warning signals, that's just a mistake that will cost you money when you get caught up in your emotions and getting too excited because we hit 63 for the first time. So that's exciting. Or we're in the 60,000 range for the first time. That's exciting. That's bullish. But then you choose to turn a blind eye to these signals that Bitcoin's actually weak, and it's common. It's just human psychology, and I think that's part of why I got some hate on my last video, because people prefer confirmation bias and hearing the good scenario. People don't want to think about bad things or the bad scenario as much, and that's normal human psychology. But like I said, if that's what you're looking for, this channel's not for you. I'm going to try to make as accurate assessments as possible when it comes to these different signals that present themselves. And then what you choose to do with that is up to you. But let me show you one last thing, because this pattern that we're forming right now in the charts reminds me a lot of a recovery pattern we saw not too long ago in the past. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah. So like this one, for instance, right here. So right here, this pattern is strikingly similar, in my opinion, to what we are seeing right now, where we had an extreme crash, then we had a slightly less extreme crash, and then an even less extreme one. So what that shows you is tons of selling pressure, retrace, more selling pressure, but maybe it's waning, retrace, and then just a little bit of selling pressure. So obviously it's waning. And then let's look at how the RSI was playing out. So this was the most extreme move right here. So this was a signal that this crash was probably only had one more leg down, because this right here, so this is exactly what I'm talking about. We had this deep crash, a retrace, and then another crash, and you can just see this one is not as extreme, and you can see here we set a higher low. So this one was lower, meaning we had the most selling pressure here. This low is higher, so the selling pressure is waning. And then this little guy right here, look how high this guy is up here. This time, this low corresponds to where we were here. So not only did we set a slightly higher low, we set quite a bit. We were quite a bit higher right here with this low right here. Not to mention it's a nice double bottom pattern. So stuff like this, these are reversal patterns. And what we're seeing right now is just strikingly similar, in my opinion. So I think that's good news. I think we have reason to be optimistic that this is a bullish signal. And like I said, I'm not telling you guys to buy or sell, when to buy or sell. I'm not telling you to go long right now. I'm just telling you, use this insight into your plan and your strategies. So we had the extreme sell-off, retrace, the climax of the sell-off as we set the lowest low, and then we look bound to have a higher low somewhere over here. Whether these were the lows right here, or we have one more fake out crash ahead of us, things are showing signs of a potential reversal. So yeah, we could see this pattern play out. And that's what you want to see if you're a bull. You want to see us do that. You want to see us get above this 50 level and make an explosive move, or at least start a new uptrend. So that's what I'm seeing. If you feel like my chart analysis videos have helped you in any way, feel like you've been a step ahead of everyone else, or give you insights you didn't have before, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It means a lot to me. It helps support the channel. The whole point of this channel is to help grow the Harmony One community. So I appreciate you guys watching. Let's see what happens. Like I said, don't be surprised if we have, another fake out crash, whether that's just down to like the 41,000 level again, or closer to 38,000. Even if that happens, we got to keep an eye on it. But even if that happens, it's looking more and more probable that we will show signs of the selling pressure waning on the RSI. So let's keep an eye on it. I'll make another video soon, and I will catch you guys next time.